So hi guys, so probably not the best day to go out, but as the title suggests, never say never. Lucy, a friend of mine, she is at college doing photography, and I think business as well. It was one of the half-term holidays, so she had a little bit of spare time, and I said, if you want to, we can go out with the cameras. And she said, yeah, but we weren't really bargaining on the kind of weather we actually got in the end. Weather forecasters got it wrong as usual. They did say the odd shower brightening up, which actually doesn't look too bad here, but then you can see the rain was coming in from in the distance there. So we went down to pet level where I've shot before. You've seen the places with the all the wooden groins and everything where I took the shot with the drone, and we sort of abandoned that and thought, right, let's go to Dungeness, which is further east and out on a point. So I thought, okay, the weather may sort of miss that. So we drove out through Canberra Sands, and then out to Lyd, and then as you can see here, just about in the distance between the trees, there's a big flash of lightning. And we thought, oh, okay, this could be interesting. So anyway, carried on, and we thought, well, we'll sit in the car and see what happens. You know, it might blow through, and we'll see what happens. But basically, as you can see here, the wind, so windy, the wind's actually blowing the water across my windscreen while we're driving along. So as you can see, yeah, I mean, it's just, the weather was terrible at the end of the day. But I am a true believer of, you know, we were the only two out. So, okay, if there's only two of us out, there's going to be only us two are going to get the photos that we take. So, you know, it's not like you're out and it's a nice day and you get loads of photographers out. Literally, we were the only people here. So, yeah, I mean, we sort of parked up after we'd gone past the lighthouse. We went down to where the steam train had just come through, and we thought, okay, we'll try and get some pictures of the steam train pulling out of the station, which always looks quite nice. Plenty of steam, and it's like a miniature railway, so you know, it's a case of just make the most. And then this happened.
What the hell? Oh. Camera's waterproof. Oh my god. Shit the bed.
Anyway, Lucy wasn't all that impressed. There's a picture of the train, and that's as far as we got to see one. So yeah, it absolutely chucked it down. Here's another a shot from another day, and that's the kind of shot we were trying to go for. Basically, it chucked it down with rain, then massive amounts of hail while we were a couple hundred metres away from the car. So we legged it back and managed to get inside the car, and that's why we look a bit windswept and you know, whatever. Here's a couple of pictures of Lucy took. We didn't take very many, and the reason being is because the weather was so on off. When we could get out, we did, and we made the best we could. You know, the sun was trying to come out, as you can see in the shot here, but it was very, very windy, very, very not particularly nice, should we say. But she did well, she persevered, and a lot of the time it's actually just taking that risk, you know. Here's a few shots I managed to take. This is just before it chucked down with hail. I just happened to look up and I saw the three birds flying over. As you can see, the lighthouse, that's the kind of weather we were looking at. It was absolutely mad. But like I say, you got to be in it to win it, and I always say never. Just get out in it and see what you can do. End of the day, if you don't get anything, it's not the end of the world, but at least you tried, you know. And it really puts you in a sort of in a situation where you've got to either make the best of it and try and get some good shots, or just give up and go home. Sometimes you end up giving up and going home, but you know, sometimes you get soaking wet, it's cold, but quite often it's well worth that little bit of sacrifice, you know. You know, so it's one of those things. Anyway, we persevered a little bit and used the lighthouse here. When the sun was shining on it, it looked awesome. And then we just drove back down the road a little bit where the old fishing huts and stuff were, and at the end of the video you'll see some other shots that I've taken over the years of Dungeness. Unfortunately, it's changing now. A lot of it's fallen down or been destroyed by either high winds or vandals or whatever. But it still has a bit of charm to it. It's a very bleak odd place really, and always well worth a look there. It changes so differently through the year. With obviously once you're in the summer and the winter and everything, it just can have a different look and feel every time you go. So anyway, we left there and headed towards Bodiam just to see how the floods were, so check that out now.
I think we'll explain that way. Yeah, every time he goes up, he goes that way then. Oh, his window open! Oh my god! He would have got soaked. His window was down here.
What?
Yeah, the blue car, the Fiat.
What, the back?
No, the front driver's window was open.
I bet they...
He would never have known it was coming either, because the puddle's on this side, it just goes that way. Oh my word.
So as we came down into Bodiam itself, we cross over the steam railway and over the crossing there, which is a completely different steam railway line to the other one you've seen. This is more of a full-size affair kind of thing. The water you can see in front of you right now is actually normally fields, and it's kind of a floodplain really, but most of the time it is actually sort of farmland. As I drove around, I suddenly realised actually we were actually lower than the water level, so I was like, okay, this is probably going to come over at some point. As you can see there, it's flooding. That's actually flooding from underneath the road. It's coming up over through the drain. And a guy actually turned up and actually said, yeah, at about 6 PM it's actually probably going to flood over the road and flood through here, so obviously worth not being there at the time. But anyway, we had a quick look before we headed home, and by the time it had actually stopped raining and the weather wasn't all that bad, it was still trying, and you had the odd sort of dribble here or there, but as you can see, the amount of water that's moving was pretty crazy. There's normally about a 6-foot gap between that bridge there from the top to the bottom. As you can see there, the pub, the castle pub, nice pub there to go and visit if you're near the castle. That's their garden, completely flooded, and the park benches were floating around. Here's a couple of Lucy's photos from here, and obviously she took a film camera as well, so she had taken some film shots, which I haven't actually seen yet, but be interested to see how they turn out. But she, like I say, she's at college learning loads and just helping her get out and about, which was good, and it was really nice, you know, just having a chat about cameras and photography in general and things like that. So that was really, even though it was a horrible day as such, you know, when you're driving around in the car, you can actually just chat and you know, learn a bit from each other, you know. So you know, ideas. She's got loads of really good ideas. That's what I've been looking at some of her work recently and some of her college projects. Amazing stuff. You know, so anyway, this is this is what Bodiam looked like. Pretty flooded really, even that's the football pitch. Yep, a little bit wet. So yeah, the river is normally about I'd say a 1/8 the width of that. So yeah, big difference. Anyway, this is back to Bodiam a good few years ago, where that old hut there was actually still standing. I've seen that hut before that was full of nets. So over the time they're just slowly deteriorating. There's that I think it's an old generator sort of winch, looking very different in the sunshine, and same as this boat here. I've actually got shots of it even older than this, where they actually still had its captain's sort of pilot section on the top still. A few old bits of cable here wound out, and just a bit of interest really. Just thought I'd show you in better light it can look very different. So you know, it's just a case that it's really worth a visit. You can't do photo shoots or anything there without permission because it's private land, and the armed police do turn up, so just take that into consideration. You can't really fly drones either because it's right next to the power station, and they will come and probably kick your ass. As you can see here, some more sort of shots here of the old boats, and there's obviously a few still in use, and it's still quite busy there, doing bits and pieces. But it's an amazing place to wander around. You've got the lifeboat station there as well, which you can go and visit. Here's another shot of that shed while it was still just about standing. But yeah, another brilliant day out, even though it was there's the train actually in a motion. But yeah, another really good day out. It was a bit sad in some respects that we couldn't get out, and obviously a bit of a shame we actually got soaked. But yeah, worth all in all, it's sort of worthwhile doing. Hopefully Lucy learnt a little bit about a few things, and also about just making that effort just to just risk it. You know, it's only a bit of water. Obviously, take care of your cameras because obviously some of those aren't storm proofed. Some can't deal with the heavy rain, but it's a case of just the way it is. You know, you just crack on with it, shelter when you can, and keep snapping. So anyway, guys, hope that was a little bit of an insight of what we've been up to, and hopefully go back out soon and get some other shoots and things done. But don't forget to click the subscribe button and also the little notification bell, and please share with your friends and other photographers you know. Any questions, comments, things like that, please feel free to comment below, and I'll happily reply. Keep them nice and happy though, and I shall see you soon. Take care, bye.